Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode, and today I decided, after having a trade that's slightly downhill, not yet to the point that I'm concerned because I can still see it bouncing up higher, but I thought it'd be a great time to actually talk about setting stop losses. So this is for things like CFD trading, things that you intend to day trade and swing trade perhaps more than just investing over a long period of time. So here we can see our trade, and I'm going to be talking about where would be a good place to set a stop loss here, and also where you should set your stop losses. So first things first, when we think about stop loss, most people think straight about the money and see a number in their account and they say, oh, for example, I only want to lose £100 or dollars or something like that. They only want to lose a set amount, whereas a lot of the time it's better to actually look at the numbers and the points of the chart instead of looking at other things like the amount of money. So for example, we can see here, my point to make a profit is just over let's call it 665. Obviously it's 12,665, but we'll just call it 665 or just 65.9. So 65.9, we're going to start to turn a profit. We're at 53 now, 0.9, so obviously there's a large amount to go. But looking at the points, we can see points of resistance and support. Now obviously I'm not going deep into technical analysis of it on this video, but it is important to talk about the basics of that. So we can see here, where has the price hit a floor before and started to go back up? So we can see it's gone here, slightly lower down on this period. If I zoom in, so we can see around a common price between 53.4 and about 45.6, we can see there that we have seen points of resistance where it bounces up. So perhaps this would be a good point to set a stop loss, maybe a little bit lower because we have seen it start to bounce, maybe it's starting to top out. However, that could be a good point. Looking at it from purely an analytical standpoint, that could be a good point to enter a stop loss, that is. So another thing to add, and another thing that's quite important, is to think about your risk to reward ratio. So this is something I intend to talk about more next week, but risk to reward is basically the amount of risk that you have to go for the amount of reward that you'll have to take. So if I have a trade and I'm going to make £100 or even £200, and I think I'm going to lose £100 worst case scenario, so I set a stop loss at 100 and I take profit at 200, then that is a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, because the reward is double the risk. So we can see that there. So for example, we want to look for a risk to reward ratio above or around 2-to-1. Otherwise, it's just a 1-to-1, and at that point you could go either way. And even if you do make that profit, is it worth the risk that you need to take? So perhaps it's worth looking at where you want to set a profit and how much money, or at what level of points, and how much profit you will get for that level, and at what loss you want to go for. So clearly, we want to look for a risk to reward ratio better than 2-to-1, because of course we want a higher reward than risk, should I say a reward to risk ratio of 2-to-1. So obviously the reward is higher than the risk. So that's what we need to look for. So here this will be around, if we set one for around, I don't know, 0. Okay, let's go at 583.9. So let's go for 583.9. 8, 3, and 9. So you can see here that's a minus 207. So we need to make 414 to get a decent profit in comparison. So obviously that is the amount of points that we need for this example, although that is a massive position size. Although obviously when you can take your profit is up to you if you are day trading. Maybe if you're swinging it, then perhaps not, because you might not be there all the time. But if you're looking at the charts and the graph continuously, you'll be able to see points where you would like to withdraw your profits. So I hope that helped you out. This has just been a quick video in it. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye until next time, and check out some of the other videos on screen right now.